Welcome to Q&A, Social Security Disability Today. This program is brought to you by the Reeves Law Firm, representing you and your Social Security and disability needs. If you have a problem or questions regarding Social Security and disability, call attorney Anthony Reeves. Here's your host, attorney Anthony Reeves.
Medical impairments. I like to take time to focus on specific medical impairments because I know a lot of you have questions and concerns about different ones. So let's talk about one that comes up a lot. Fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia is, like I always tell people, it's a diagnosis of exclusion. Usually what happens is that people come and they're experiencing various pains, and the normal diagnostic objective means to identify those pains don't necessarily readily identify something. So in some instances, you're diagnosed with fibromyalgia. It is a painful condition. But not only is it a painful condition, it can be somewhat difficult to diagnose. If you have been diagnosed with fibromyalgia, there's usually a few things that happen. One, they look for tender points. These are usually specific points where if you have them, it's normally along your back, that if you have them, I think if I remember correctly, it's a number of places that are extremely sensitive, and typically, I think it's for under the Rheumatological Association, you have 14 out of 18 tender points. That's usually the most objective type of examination you can do to determine the existence of fibromyalgia. Secondly, who's treating you for it? Ideally, it's a rheumatologist. It could be a rheumatologist or a neurologist, but typically, when you have a specialist, those are the specialists that are typically following you for those conditions. If you have an internal medicine doctor or a general practitioner or a family practice doctor who believes you have fibromyalgia, you might want to ask them if they believe you should be referred to a specialist for more specialized care. That actually goes a long way to help your case because it further substantiates the existence of your fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia is tricky from a pain standpoint because even though you have the existence of trigger points and so forth, usually the only thing that you can get for something like this is I've seen magnet therapy, I've seen massage therapy, mostly pain management and so forth. Those are the types of things that Social Security is going to look for to determine the severity of your condition. They're also going to look at what your third parties forms are going to say. They're going to look at what people say about how problematic the condition of fibromyalgia may be. So keep those things in the back of your mind as well. If you have a provider, ask them, specifically if it's a rheumatologist, ask them if they can give an indication as to what particular limitations you have as a result of your fibromyalgia, your ability to do daily activities, your ability to do exertional activities like sit, stand, push, pull, your ability to concentrate. Because the reality is that fibromyalgia is a really unique medical condition, and the more information, this is really a condition where it's like the more information you have, the better it is for you in terms of being able to demonstrate to Social Security Administration that your fibromyalgia is, one, a medically determinable impairment, which is basically one that they can go to the medical records and properly determine you have, and two, it's one that you can demonstrate the level of severity. You want as much information for Social Security to be able to ascertain how severe this is. So make sure when you testify at a hearing about the severity of your fibromyalgia that when you're dealing those forms, I know it's kind of going backwards, but you need to be consistent because that's a lot of times what Social Security is looking for. Remember, fibromyalgia is a very unique impairment. So the more information you have to provide Social Security, the better. If you hate exercising as much as I do, it's probably not because you don't want to, but you may not be physically able to. If you can't exercise because of your impairment, make sure you let your doctors know so they can put a workout routine for you. This way, the more you know, the more you can help your case. I gotta go because these ladies are killing me. Hope it helps you out.